All right, Dolphins. I have no segue, so I'm just going to say Dolphins beat the Cowboys on Sunday.
They did.
22-20. Exciting game, down to the wire. Dolphins get the field goal. 5 field goals on the day for Miami, and they did what they had to do. They beat a good team finally. Now, something was going to give. The Cowboys were either going to beat a good team on the road. That's the narrative. They can't beat good teams on the road. Or the Dolphins were going to beat a good team anywhere. So somebody was going to be able to say, stick your narrative up your butt after the game, because both were baked in. Both were reality, and one still lingers. The Cowboys can't beat a good team on the road. And yes, the Dolphins have beaten a good team, but now they go to Baltimore this week. That's their reward, Chris. Although it is, as we said earlier, an opportunity. They want to be the 1 seed. They want to force the road to the Super Bowl through South Florida. They have the opportunity to do it New Year's Eve in Baltimore if they could beat the Ravens. But as well as they played on Sunday, there's another level to match what we saw last night from Baltimore.
Yeah, and they're going to recognize that. They will. I think it is positive though, right, for Miami, and that Miami not in a lot of ugly, one score. Can we win the game late? It's not necessarily a track meet in some pretty football game, right? We talked about this last week. They had to prove to themselves they could kind of win that type of game. Be the more physical team on the football field against one of the better teams in football. That has been something that's definitely missed from the Dolphins. Against the top-tier teams they've played, they've been out-physicaled every time. This was not the case the other day. They were more physical than Dallas. In fact, they had more things to rely on with their physicality than Dallas did. I mean, they could run the ball. Dallas couldn't, right? I mean, the D-line for the Miami Dolphins certainly gave the Cowboys issues. But then, yeah, the balance on the Miami offense to kind of be able to do both, but also just gut out the win and win in a way that we haven't seen them have to all year. Yeah, I think that's going to prove something to them. And, yeah, they're going to have to continue to play with that type of physicality here if they want to win the AFC number 1 seed, like you said.
And I also love those uniforms. How many teams have great throwbacks that are better than their base uniforms? I wish they would wear those the rest of the way. And it was just a fun game to watch. It was a great uniform game, as you like to say.
Yes.
It felt like a bigger game than a regular season game. It had postseason feel to it. It just had the way it looked, the way the teams looked, the way the stadium looked. It just felt like a bigger deal. And I think that's the key. Even though it doesn't hurt the Cowboys in the standings per se, because they still need the Eagles to lose, winning a game like that proves things to you as a team. The Dolphins proved to themselves that they can go toe-to-toe with an elite team and get the win. And now the challenge is take that and springboard it to taking on a better team in their building. What are you going to do there? Game of the day for Week 17.
Yeah.
Dolphins at the Ravens.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it.
It's going to be 1 versus 2 again. I got my power rankings ready to go. We just had 1 versus 2 last night. Guess what? We got 1 versus 2 coming up on Sunday.
Wow.
When the Dolphins, number 2, visit the Ravens, number 1.
Wow, okay, all right. So you're bumping the 49ers down a few spots there. I didn't expect you to hear you say that there. But, yeah.
Got to win your football games.
I'm excited for it. And, again, I think what you see there, and what I like about the Dolphins, we know the offense is good. But the fact that they could kind of, use their willpower and run the ball on Dallas a little bit. And then to me, again, the thing that keeps jumping out to me with the Dolphins, other than 2 late drives by the Tennessee Titans, their defense has been very good the last 5-6 weeks. I mean, a pain in the butt. They got big people up the middle. Fangio's got them coached up, and they're all bought in on the system. And, again, they gave that Dallas Cowboy offense issues. I mean, Dallas couldn't run the ball. That was an issue, right? I mean, they had stretches of not being able to really move the ball on the offense in general. It became work for them. I mean, other than the 45 or what was that, the 50-yard slant? What the heck was that? Like to CeeDee Lamb, the 49-yard slant route to him. I mean, there wasn't a lot of open field for Dallas and big plays or anything like that. There wasn't. I mean, their last touchdown drive, it was 17 plays. I mean, it was work. That's what I worry about with Dallas. Dallas got some good players. Their offense is simple, and it's just a little too reliant on the players itself. And you saw the Dolphins, slow it down, and then they couldn't run the ball in the Dolphins either. Dallas they're good, but they're nothing great. I think we know that. Miami, I think the jury's out. And they could still be a major player here in the AFC still. And certainly, I think more of a major player than I don't think they're that great. That's for sure.
Well, big throw in a big spot at some point for Tua, unless they just manage it the whole way and it's timing and it works and it clicks. But we saw the MVP of the NFL last night in Lamar Jackson, and he plays at a level that only a few others do. This gets back to what Cam Newton was saying last week. Well, he's the team.
He's the guy. It doesn't matter what system you put in Lamar, what team you put him on. We'd all sit there and go, oh, my gosh, that's unbelievable. And that's what an MVP is. And for some reason, we've got stuck in this, oh, the team's awesome. They're going up and down the field. But let's give the quarterback all the credit for handing the ball here and throwing a screen here. Whoop-de-effing do. That's what, we got to get back to what an MVP is.
We got to break. We're out of time.
MVP.
We'll be right back.
Not guys that just
30-second final segment.
Awesome team.
We'll be right back.
MVP.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.